Today, let us learn about globalization. What is globalization? Globalization is a process that has occurred throughout time, ever since the first communities on Earth began interacting with one another. It is the process of integration and interdependencies among different nations, communities, and civilizations. These days, it's hard to imagine a world without globalization. Thanks to modern technology and transportation, the world is a global village. What is your stand about globalization?
As for me, globalization is about interconnectedness and interdependence among countries across the world, especially when it comes to trading and investments like exporting and importing of goods and products throughout the world.
In my own opinion, globalization talk about the speeding and sharing of ideas and materials across the countries more fastly and quickly. Let us say, for example, the phone that shirt is from America and the movie that one are fan of came from Korea. This is very evident that we are living in the world of globalization.
Because of globalization, we are now advanced in our technology today. Without this process, everything has a limit. A limit in communication and influencing other people.
Globalization can refer to a number of different areas of concentration. Globalization examples include economic, financial, political, ecological, geographical, sociological, cultural, and technological. What are these examples of globalization all about?
Financial. With financial globalization, interconnectedness through a network of cities has become increasingly relevant for developing markets as they link financially with the rest of the world.
Real-life example.
Stock markets are a great example of financial globalization because when one stock market has a decline, all the other stock market gets affected negatively too, and so do the economics of the countries as a whole.
One type of globalization is ecological. It refers to the idea that Earth should be treated as one single ecosystem. Real-life example is climate change, such as global warming affects everybody on Earth because we all live under one atmosphere. One nation can harm the planet and it will affect everybody.
Refers to the many principle that certain attitude, philosophy, and ideal behavior should exist everywhere. Real-life example. Democracy is a real-life example of sociological globalization because democracy is a system of government which has its own philosophy and ideal behavior.
Economic globalization is the growth of economic alliance and affiliation of a country's economic across the world through the trading of goods, services, technologies, and money. The country's economic situations can heavily depend on other allied countries. Real-life example. Numerous companies have become transnational such as Walmart, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, etc.
Political. Governmental action takes place on a global level instead of a national level. Nations are trending towards more international collaboration. Responsibilities, such as the welfare of citizens and economic growth, are acted upon by an international political body. Real life example. The United Nations is one of many examples of political globalization. The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization that promotes peace and international cooperation and security.
Geographical. Geographical, moving toward a trend of borderless world that is not controlled by the countries but by concerted issues to help make the world a better place for everybody. Real life example of geographical. Global travel used to be a major concern for people for many reasons. One reason was that it was unlawfully convenient because of so long to get to the desired destination. But with modern technologies such as modern airplane, global travel has never been only easier. Without the collaboration of other countries, global travel was not possible. Cultural. Social globalization regards human cooperation and communication within a variety of cultural communities covering points like family, religion, education, and work. This integration has the consequence of countries losing their native culture. Real life example, Facebook is a huge contributor to social globalization because it has connected many different people from around the world with other people that's passing on that diverse culture. The reason Facebook is so successful is because it connects people together and it is incredibly convenient to use at the same time. Technological. Billions of people around the world are connected in a variety of technologies that help them to communicate with other people. Real life example. The worldwide web unites people together, especially with the various social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and etc. How does globalization affect our lives?
We live an increasingly interconnected and independent world. Globalizations touch every part of our lives, from the product we buy to the food we eat to the way we communicate with one another. Globalizations is also tied to some of other biggest issues we face in the modern era, including climate change, trade, terrorism, and the spread of deadly diseases. Being intertwined with countries and markets all over the world has both benefits and downside. So, globalization has both proponent and detractors. No matter which side you're on, globalization is simply a reality of modern life. Therefore, it's important to understand how it affects us and the choice we make.